If you're just getting started with YouTube automation, it's inevitable that you're bound to run into doubt and negativity when it comes to starting. I've spoken to and coached a ton of students who are starting YouTube automation, and today I'm going to be showing you 8 things I wish I knew before I got started with YouTube automation that ended up costing me a ton of money or annoying headaches. So tip number 1 is behind the idea that trends are actually evergreen. So when it comes to YouTube automation, there are usually 2 things that people say to capitalize on. It's either capitalize on trends or capitalize on evergreen. Now, in my way of doing YouTube automation, capitalizing on trends is actually a lot easier to grow. It's a lot easier to capitalize on things that are currently happening on the news. But there is this common misconception when it comes to trends in that they're actually evergreen. People think that trends have a definitive date as to when they die, but it just comes down to that trends, they're actually a bit evergreen. So pretend that something happens today in the sports world. Let's pretend that LeBron James retires. I would actually make a video 1 month, 2 months, 3 months down the road, still talking about how LeBron James has retired, and that sometimes that video will actually still work. So just recently, about a week ago on my sports channel, I created a video on an event that happened back in October of 2023, and that video still ended up working. So the thing with trends is that it's good to capitalize on them, but pretend that it may take even a couple days or even more than a week to actually create a video on that current trend that just happened. I would still publish that video. It matters more on how you repackage the video. So don't be hard stuck in that just because it's already been a week since a trend has actually occurred or something on the news or an event has actually occurred and a week has already gone by. You can still create videos capitalizing on that trend. And you'd be surprised, I have videos that are talking about trends that have happened well over 2 years, 3 years ago, but those videos are still getting views. So my way of doing YouTube automation is that trends, they don't have a definitive date as to when they die, and I would still capitalize on trends weeks, 1 month, even a couple months later down the road. Again, it matters more on how you repackage the video, and these trending videos that you create your YouTube automation videos on, they might actually turn evergreen, like just how some of mine have. So don't be too hard stuck in that trends have a hard set deadline before you can't make any videos on them. You can still make videos on trends. It matters more on how you repackage them, and you'd be surprised that trending videos that you create, they might actually end up turning into evergreen videos. Now, tip number 2 is the real way to double down. So a very common strategy that a lot of people preach and a lot of people know is that when you start your YouTube automation channel, once you have a video that works, you basically make more videos like it. But people really don't do it correctly. I mean, they'll make similar videos like it, but the real way to double down, it kind of ties to the idea behind repackaging again. So let's pretend that I make a video about how LeBron James has retired today, okay? I make a video, that's the title of the video. Now, when it comes to the real way to doubling down, if that video talking about LeBron James retiring works, I'll make like 10 other videos talking about the same exact content of LeBron James retiring. It'll still be a brand new script. It'll still be a brand new thumbnail, different title, new voiceover, new video edit. It's still going to be new everything, but I'm going to put into production on Task Force or my project management board, basically 10 projects talking about LeBron James retiring. And again, it's how you repackage it. So maybe one video might be titled Why LeBron James Needs to Retire. Another video might be titled The Dark Truth Why LeBron James Actually Retired. Another video might be titled LeBron James Actually Reveals Why He Actually Retired. So it's those 3 video topics that I just mentioned as examples. They're all talking about the same exact thing. So the real way to double down is that once you have a video that works in your channel, put in like 5, 10 other videos just like it, but repackage it differently, because there's only going to be a temporary period of time in which YouTube recognizes your channel for that specific video topic. And if you actually are quick to double down, make videos very, very similar to the video that worked on your channel, you are going to get more videos that end up working. Again, brand new script, brand new voiceover, brand new video edit, thumbnail, new everything, but the content is the same. That is the real way to double down. The way that people double down seems to be like, okay, if my video on LeBron James retiring ends up working, then I'll make a video about LeBron James and his lifestyle. Then I'll make a video about 10 things you didn't know about LeBron James, or I'll make a video about how Stephen Curry is going to retire. Really, that is not the way to double down, although you can make videos like that. I'm not saying that's wrong, but doubling down really means taking the same exact content that has worked on your channel, repackaging it and putting it into production and producing and publishing the video again. That is the real way to double down. Now, tip number 3 that I wish I knew was when it comes to the real way to put people into view loops. So view loops, right? It basically means getting one person to watch one of your videos and then getting them to watch another one of your videos. It's a very effective strategy to keep in mind when coming up with videos for your own YouTube automation channel, in a sense that one person can actually watch 1, 2, 3, 5 of your videos on your YouTube automation channel. So what you have to keep in mind is that you actually have to start connecting your videos. Take for example, again, once someone watches the real reason why LeBron James retired, they might be interested in a video called The Dark Truth Why LeBron James Actually Retired. So again, putting people in view loops is a very effective way of growing your YouTube automation channel. Really keeping in mind, putting yourself in your viewer's shoes. Once I watch one of these videos, what video would I want to watch next? And one particular thing that I really highly recommend you start doing is that at the end of all your videos where you get to choose an end screen, you choose a specific video, don't just make that video suggested for best for viewers, or don't just make that end screen just say your most recent uploads. Have that end screen actually point at a video that you think people would want to watch after they watch that first video. Trust me, taking the extra 30 seconds or so to actually choose a specific video that you think people would want to watch, that is what it means to actually put people in view loops. Choosing a specific video at the end of your end screen, or basically copying that video's link into your description or into your pinned comment, that is what it means to actually put people in view loops. It's recommending videos that you think your audience would want to watch after they watch one of your videos. That is the true definition of putting people in view loops. It's actually a forced thing that you can actually do, and it just takes a bit of extra time, but it really takes careful thinking of, again, putting yourself in your viewer's shoes and thinking, what would I want to watch next after I watch this video? Tip number 4 is in regards to quality control and what to actually look out for. Now, when you first get started on your YouTube automation channel, there's this thing called quality control, and this is what you actually need to look out for. When you first publish your video, you're going to see this upside down pyramid that looks like this, okay? It starts with impressions on top, and then click-through rate, then views from impressions, then average viewer duration, then watch time from impressions. When it comes to quality control, when you're first starting your YouTube automation channel, people are very quick to start critiquing the thumbnails. They're very quick to start critiquing the actual content of the videos. But what they don't realize is that quality control comes later on. What you need to focus on is actually getting impressions on your video. This video, or basically this percentage that you see right here, this actually needs to be high enough so that you can actually get a reasonable amount of data to actually critique your thumbnail, to actually critique the contents of your video. So if you're not getting impressions, it doesn't matter if you tell your thumbnail designer to change your thumbnail. If you're not getting impressions, it doesn't matter if you tell your video editor that you want this clip inserted into your video. What matters more is that you need to nail down impressions first before you actually focus on quality control. Quality control in general, it just needs to be 80% good enough. Don't aim for perfection. Don't go back and forth and tweaking thumbnails. Don't go back and forth and tweaking video edits if you can't nail down impressions just yet. What you have to look for is, first, are your topics actually in demand on YouTube? Can YouTube actually recognize your videos based on your title, based on your video, based on your description? Can YouTube actually recommend your content based on those three things? If this impressions count is high enough and you can see that, okay, 84% is coming from YouTube recommending your content, that is when you look at the click-through rate now. Okay, so now in this video, we have a 3.4% click-through rate. This is where quality control now comes in. Now I want to work with my thumbnail designer and be like, hey, for this thumbnail, can we change this out? Or for the next video, can we have this thumbnail see how that works? Then you work on the click-through rate. Okay, now your click-through rate's good. All right, now you're getting views. Now what's the average viewer duration? Once you have impressions down, once you have the click-through rate down, that's when you start critiquing the actual contents of your video, and you start looking at this graph here. You start looking at where people are dropping off. You start looking at where people are actually spiking up and returning to actually watch the video. That is the order of things in which you should be doing quality control. But to start off, quality control, everything should be at a good 80% good enough quality. 80% good enough quality, just so that you have something to start off with. It doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need the perfect thumbnail. You don't need the perfect video. You don't need the perfect content of your video. But again, impressions, then click-through rate, then contents of your video. That is how you quality control things. Now moving on to tip number 5. It's a very common question that I always get, which is, how much do you spend per video? So at the beginning of stages of your YouTube automation channel, it is a very hefty price to be putting in $100 to $150 in per video and publishing it on your channel. At the beginning stages of your YouTube automation channel, you're at this stage of what I like to call the trial run. This trial run means that you're testing out videos, you're seeing what works, and it's going to be a steep price. If for every video that you try and you're spending $100, it's a lot, okay? So my go-to thing is that the pricing structure when it comes to how much you spend in your videos, you want to get it to less than $100, okay? So that's $30 for script writing, $30 for voiceover, about $40 for a video edit, and hopefully you get those amounts lower, but ideally like $5 for a thumbnail. You want it to get less than $100. If you can get it for like $60 for the total cost of your video, that's solid. Any less than $60, and that is actually really, really good. And this is in regards to speaking about an 8-minute long video, 1,600 words in the script, a nice decent thumbnail, decent decent edit, decent voiceover, and decent scriptwriter, trust me, they exist out there. If your question is, I can't find a good scriptwriter, or I can't find a good video editor, then trust me, they exist. You just got to keep looking and trying to find them. Now, tip number 6 that I wish I knew is hire your A1 from day one. So in this context, what I mean is hiring your A1 team. So the A1 team can consist of your scriptwriter, your voiceover artist, your video editor, your project manager, your thumbnail designer. What I tell people is that if you don't plan on editing your videos 6 months, 1 year, 2 years down the road, then just hire a video editor now. Likewise, with a project manager is in a very important role when it comes to helping you run your YouTube automation channels. They basically are the go-to person when it comes to your other contractors having questions. I've been working with some of my team members, my project managers, scriptwriters, voiceover artists, video editors, thumbnail designers, well for 4 years now. And with that long-term relationship, it just builds a good relationship in which we're able to work long-term together. They're able to do some kind favors for me in case I need something on demand, or maybe I need something a quicker delivery time. So hire A1 from day one. Again, I understand that sometimes you have to save costs on your video, or you have to save costs, and so you have to write the script yourself. YouTube automation, it does cost money, and if you have that money, just hire from day one. Get through that process of training your team so that they can get used to the style of editing or script writing or thumbnail design that you want. Now, tip number 7 is to pay your freelancers using a cashback credit card. So I started this from maybe like a year into doing YouTube automation, and so this may not apply to everyone, but cashback credit cards are absolutely golden when it comes to paying your contractors. It really builds up. And so for a very, very simple process on how I do it, a lot of my team gets paid through PayPal, and on PayPal, I actually connect my credit card with it. And because I'm making payments through credit card, I get anywhere from like 1 to 1.5% cash back. And that cash back actually builds up. It builds up to the point I'm actually able to pay for my own personal things as far as travel goes, personal flights, personal hotels. It's all made through cash back from paying my contractors. So it's a great way to just make a good amount of money on the side and actually apply it to your own personal benefit. So if you can, use a cashback credit card. If from day one, I use the Chase card and I get a 1.5% cash back on any purchases or credits that I'm making. And it's been absolutely phenomenal. The point system that Chase has is extremely good, especially for travel. And it just builds, again, I'm basically able to travel because I'm paying my team with a credit card. Now, tip number 8 that I wish I knew is to increase efficiency when it comes to using Taskforce. So Taskforce is basically a project management tool that my team and I have created specifically for creating YouTube automation videos. So Taskforce, there's a free trial, and the basis of Taskforce stems from me trying out Trello, Asana, Google Sheets, Zapier, and me not really liking those programs just because there were some obstacles that they couldn't fit when it came to running YouTube automation channels. So with Taskforce, again, it's an ultimate online task management tool designed specifically for YouTube automation channels or cash cow channels. So these are all the things that it can do. It can create videos, track video creation, basically boost productivity and reduce the cost of what it takes to run a YouTube automation channel. You can basically track payments, have your team collaborate all within its own project management board, have dedicated channel management systems for those who are running more than one YouTube automation channel. And also we have a support team. So basically you want to say goodbye to the spider web of team management, channel management when it comes to the old way of doing YouTube. And basically Taskforce helps redefine that by making it more streamlined. So it starts with you, the idea generator, or you can hire an idea generator, you putting those topics into Taskforce, and then that leads to a published video. So with that, I wish I had Taskforce when I first started. I created it specifically for YouTube automation channels for people who are just like you getting started. We do have a free plan, so do check it out down below in the description.